Moving on into trending, not too much to talk about this week. Some breaking news today. The Angels put a bunch of people on their team on waivers. I think this is very, very, very interesting. I thought it was very odd, too. It kind of came out of nowhere. Angels put Lucas Giolito, Reynaldo Lopez, Matt Moore, Randal Grichuk, and Hunter Renfroe. Is this just the worst I'm giving up moment in sports history?
No.
I think it's up there.
It's not. And it's not for a magnitude of reasons, because once the NBA got into that whole tanking stuff, like, there was blatant tanking in the NBA for the number one pick. So no, it's not a complete disaster, but I understand where they're coming from, right? Like, you have no shot to re-sign these guys. You're giving up on your season, so you kind of got to do right by them. You brought them in for a specific reason, that was to make a chase. Once you realize the chase isn't happening, you got to give those guys an opportunity to go sign with someone that has a shot.
I think, as far as baseball recency, I think it's pretty shocking, Jedi. I kind of agree with you that you just don't see it happen very often. And for a team that was in the predicament that they were in with Ohtani, do we re-sign him or do we try and build around him? It just couldn't have gone wrong on any other level more than it did for the Angels. And I forget how much they end up saving by cutting these guys. I kind of disagree with you too, Dino. Like, they're not going to the postseason, but do all of those guys sign? Or are they basically just getting cut and, hopefully sign with the team next year? I know, Lucas Giolito is going to get signed. Maybe Reynaldo Lopez, Matt Moore, Randal Grichuk. Okay, Renfroe, maybe. I saw something, he's been on his 7th team in 6 years. Like, does he sign somewhere? Yeah, maybe. But overall, just what a disaster, man.
But this goes back to what I originally said to you, was it was a couple podcasts ago when we were talking about Ohtani, is it's not lack of effort, man. Like, these guys continuously try, and it gets to a point where you just kind of feel bad for them. So, De Palma, I think it was you that said, this is a cursed franchise.
I think it is, man.
Dude, they try.
Right after they went all in on Ohtani, UCL tear within 2 weeks.
Yeah, 100%. And then, by the way, on top of that, I forgot a sweet swing way back when, who was an Angel, Garrett Anderson.
Yeah.
Nice.
He had a sweet and was a Yankee killer. So, yeah, dude, ever since, the rally monkey, went away, right? The Angels just haven't been able to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Ohtani's gone. There's literally no shot. I think also with this whole UCL tear, too, I think there's kind of a little bit of a hidden tension between the two, with the organization and Ohtani and his representation. What is next for this team, though? I mean, kind of touched on it a little bit, but these guys traded their top 2 prospects for Giolito and Lopez. They also traded some guys for Grichuk. I mean,
it's bad.
And they're gone less than a month? I mean, where now you took away your farm system, or at least the top 2 guys in your farm system, and then you just traded away the guys that you got for them. So now you're just left with nothing. So where's really the direction for the fan base of where this is going? I feel like at some point it does fall on the GM completely, and it's everybody's always talking about Cashman, but let's talk about the Angels GM. Maybe this guy's got to go.
The franchise is not in a good spot. And it's not going to be in a good spot, because you have an unhealthy Trout year to year. Ohtani's walking. That's a fact. And I said if they could get in, he would stay. It's 100%. He's walking.
He's out.
Yeah, hopefully they just trade Mike Trout. Maybe something gets done between the two, because baseball just needs to see Mike Trout in the playoffs before he really starts to hit a decline. Maybe you've seen a little hint of it with his health problems this season, but hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he keeps being the Mike Trout we all know. Speaking of Ohtani and staying in that discussion, Ohtani did tear his UCL. We talked about that last week, but there are reports now coming out that he denied to have an MRI, him and his representation, and a week later, the news broke about this tear in his UCL. Do you think this was a mistake, or did Ohtani and his reps try to avoid something that they knew was something wrong with his arm? It's very weird to me. Why would you deny having an MRI when you had arm problems?
It's probably got to be financial reasons. I don't want to say, every team's going to have to do a physical on the guy, but I do think the news breaking so early prevents him from early negotiations right when free agency starts, right when the season ends. So I think he was going to try and push through it too, but or you know what? Let's play devil's advocate. Maybe he didn't think there was anything structurally wrong.
Yeah, that's interesting because he's already torn his UCL, so you'd think he knows what it not necessarily feels like right away, but whenever there's an issue leading into it, that could lead into it. And then for it, if the report is true that it was the week before, then his next start, he blows out his UCL. It's not a good look, and it's kind of shocking too. You'd think his representation would be on his side. They would want to get that checked out, shut him down to preserve him for that huge contract. Even if there was maybe it wasn't a full tear, maybe it was just something where a couple months of rehab or just shutting him down for the season would have helped. But it's interesting, man.
But if it's even slight tear or full tear, it's still the same surgery. It's
right.
not the UCL is not going to heal itself. So he's still looking at 15 months until he's 100% to throw.
But even that's coming out in a medical if he signs the largest contract in baseball history. It would have came out.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. Dude, I'm starting to get to a point where there's a lot of he said, she said in sports, and I just don't know necessarily what's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one thing that I think is just absolutely very interesting and just cool. Ohtani has a 1,500 OPS since tearing his UCL. The dude isn't human.
Freak.
It's absurd. I don't get it. I don't know what that dude is made of, but couple little quick things still staying in the baseball world. Harrison Bader was placed on waivers, which is kind of interesting and kind of shocking as a Yankee fan. There's only about $1 million owed left to him on his contract. Yankees were busy today. They also released Josh Donaldson, which was a shocker. They said they wanted to give him a chance to go play in the playoffs, maybe have a chance to play somewhere else because the intention was that he was not going to be coming back the following season. And then some sad news, some guy that I always rooted for, Noah Syndergaard, was DFA'd by the Cleveland Guardians, and it seems like his career is coming to a close.
Yeah, Syndergaard's done, and I'll talk about the Yankees stuff during my final thought, if that's okay with you.
That's completely fine. Deepaw, did you have anything to say on those three guys?
I didn't. I knew about Donaldson because Dean texted the group chat, and that was hilarious. I can't tell you how long it's been that Dino's been preaching for it. Yeah, Bader was a little interesting too. Yeah, with just so little money left on his contract. And who was the third one?
Noah Syndergaard was DFA'd by the Guardians.
Yeah, that is sad to see. It's sad to see. Kind of saw it a little bit with Harvey too. When guys are so dominant for not a long time, but stretches, and they flash. And, they never hit that potential again. It is sad to see.
The Dark Knight and Thor are done.
That's so sad. I feel so old seeing these guys retire, man. Seriously. Jeez. These are the guys that I kind of grew up watching. I know you guys are a little bit older than me,
just
so
wait.
You had your group.
Wait until they start having kids that are playing, bro.
Dude, just wait until somebody asks you, oh, man, who's your favorite player? And you're like, dude, I'm 33. But
Who is your favorite player, though?
It's Ohtani.